Hi guys, it's Amy. I know I haven't made a YouTube video in a long time, but I'm making a comeback, and I know I've said this before, but this time I would say it's more likely that it's actually gonna happen. So today I'm basically just gonna be giving you guys a life update, what's been going on in my life for the past year or so, and I'm gonna be answering a couple questions that were in my Curious Cat about my past year. So yeah, that's about it. So let's get into the video. So a year ago, last May, I graduated from high school. I had decided that I was going to UT in Austin in the fall. I was really excited, but also really nervous. So the plan was that Nikki was going to take 1, maybe 2 years off from school. She goes to school at UTA, so the one in Arlington. And she was going to take 2 years off and move down there with me in an apartment. And then after my first year in a dorm, I would move in with her. So she found an apartment, and I moved into my dorm late August. It was when Hurricane Harvey was going on, so it was really stormy. And she moved down there September 12th or 13th, I think. So I started school, and I really, really liked it. I met so many awesome people, and I really enjoyed all my classes. They were such interesting topics. Even though I was still in my basics, they were still, like, I loved the professors. So basically I'm just gonna answer a couple questions from my Curious Cat pertaining to UT specifically, and then I'll continue on. So someone asked, what/who do you miss most about UT? So I loved UT's campus. It's actually funny because before orientation I had never actually been on campus. Like, I'd been to Austin, but I'd never like done a tour or like anything like that because I'm just crazy, I guess. I miss my dorm room. As odd as it sounds, my roommate was really chill. I do not miss having a community bathroom with no hot water unless you turned on 3 of the other showers, and then I was just very wasteful. But I kind of miss like having a dorm, and the view from my window in my dorm, you could actually see the top of the Texas State Capitol, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, I really liked my bed. I had it lofted pretty high so I could fit my makeup desk under it, and it was just a really like nice place to like live, I guess. And so I kind of miss having my own space, even though it was shared with somebody else. But I think I was just really excited to not live in the bedroom at my parents' house, because I lived in my bedroom in my parents' house my entire life, like from when I was born until I moved out. So I was basically just happy to have a different space and to like decorate it into how I wanted and things like that. But basically about UT, I just miss the people. Like, I made such good friends. I was only at UT until right before Thanksgiving, so it'd be around like November 20 something, and then I left the school. But back to the question, I miss the friends I made. Even though I was only there for 3 months, I felt like I had known some people forever beforehand, and I just really miss them. And even the people I was like acquaintances with, I basically just miss being around people that were so similar to me, because in Springtown, my hometown, it was just like really hard to like find like other queer friends, I guess. And so I really had that when I went to UT, and they honestly just like helped me through my time there. And I also got a job, and I kind of missed that. I worked at the Starbucks on campus, which I will do probably like a Starbucks like job review, I guess, because I worked at one on UT's campus, and then like a regular one in Austin as well. So maybe I'll do something about that, and like what I liked and what I didn't like, and what the customers should know, if that's like interesting. I don't know if it will be, but I miss the people at UT, and I just miss, I don't know, I kind of miss everything, and I really, really loved it. So I guess the next question that leads into that is, why did you leave UT? Basically, I left UT due to mental health problems. If you know me, you know that I have depression and anxiety, and I have for several years now. It got really bad my senior year of high school, to where I almost didn't graduate because I had so many absences. But I graduated and things like that. But when I was at UT, even after Nikki had moved down to Austin in her apartment in September, like I would see her frequently, but I just started getting really, really depressed, and I couldn't motivate myself to go to class or do the readings and the homework, which at UT, like, it's very, like, the classes that I was taking was really heavy reading, like, all the time. I just, like, basically couldn't motivate myself to do anything. I just wanted to, like, be around my friends, and I just knew that that place wasn't good for me at that time, and I needed a break. Just because it was so overwhelming and so different from moving from a super small town to Austin, and I just think I didn't know how to cope with it, I guess. So things just got really, really bad, and I was like, I don't need to be here right now. I'm not going to do my best here, so I don't want to waste my time and money, because UT's hella expensive. So I knew I needed to either change schools, take a year or so off, in order to like better myself and make sure I'm ready to go to school and be successful while I'm there. So this leads into the next question. What was the process of dropping out / withdrawing like? I kind of want to do it myself, but I'm nervous what kind of effect that'll have on my college career. First off, I am not the person to ask this question. Well, maybe I am, because I have withdrawn from 2 different schools now. Withdrawn. So basically, when I decided I was going to withdraw from UT, it was like early November. So it was already past midterms, I believe, or at least my midterms. So I got in contact with like the withdrawal people, and they told me that I had like missed the deadline for normal withdrawal, which basically means like none of your classes would count against you, and you don't need like a reason, and basically you're not penalized. And well, actually I didn't miss a deadline. They told me the deadline was the next day, and I had to have specific paperwork from my housing since I lived in a dorm, and I couldn't get that done by the next day. So basically what I ended up doing was I got my housing paperwork filled out, and I said like I wasn't going to enroll for the next semester, and so I got that figured out. And basically this is definitely not what I should have done. I definitely should have done more research, and I know better now. but I basically stopped going to all of my classes, and subsequently I failed almost all of them, because if you withdraw past the deadline, at least at UT, it's probably different other places, if you withdraw past the deadline, you have to have some sort of like legal reason or paperwork to back you up from a doctor or something as to why you need to leave after the withdrawal date, because you are in a pretty binding housing contract for a whole year, and they're pretty serious about that. So I basically failed on my classes, and that really sucked, and I shouldn't have done that, because there were other options, but this is just what happened to me. So I withdrew, and I wasn't seeing a psychiatrist or being admitted into a hospital, so I didn't have like a doctor's I guess approval note saying like, yes, she needs to withdraw from UT and not be penalized and things like that. I believe you can also withdraw and not be penalized if a close family member dies and you have documentation of that, which is really fucked up that you have to give them documentation to be like, hey, like my mom died and I need to quit school, and they're like, but did she really? Like, that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, so that's what happened to me, and it was the stupidest thing I probably could have ever done, or I guess I did do it. So it's probably one of the stupidest things I've ever done. So after I stopped going to classes, I moved in with Nikki in her apartment, and then I started working like early December at a different Starbucks, and basically I fucking hated it, and I quit 2 weeks later because I was still not better. I still wasn't better mentally, so, and I was working almost 40 hours a week, and I just could not handle it. It was one of the most, the Starbucks that I worked at was one of the most busiest in Austin, and it was around Christmas time, and I worked in like an outdoor shopping mall. So it was busy 24/7, and I just could not handle that pressure. So I quit, and basically I just kind of hung out and then realized, hey, I should probably at least take classes at ACC, which is Austin Community College. So I enrolled in that, and I told my parents, and well, obviously I told them I dropped out of UT, and they were like, we still love you and all of that, so that was nice. So basically I enrolled at ACC, and classes started in January. At this time I was looking for another job, but definitely something part-time, something that I would enjoy more than a high-stress environment, because that's not what I needed to be in. So classes started, and I only did online classes because I was like, maybe if I eliminate the act of having to physically get up and go to class, I will do better in school. So I was like, I might as well try it. Community college is way cheaper than UT. So I did a few online classes, and I started looking for a job, and I worked at a place called Kreiser's Natural Pet. They're not just in Austin, but in the state of Texas. They're only in Austin and Houston and surrounding areas there, and they're in a few other states as well. So like, they are a chain, but most people I've ever talked to, even in Austin, they had no idea what that was. So it's basically a pet food and supply store, and we also did grooming, and we like held events with like certain rescue societies, and they would bring dogs to be adopted and things like that. And basically my job was awesome because I saw dogs every single day at work, and that just brought me so much joy. And I only worked part-time, and the pay was so good for what it was. Excuse me. And also I learned a lot because I have a dog, Buffy, and then we eventually got a cat named Willow, and I learned a lot about pet nutrition and what I should be feeding them in order for them to be their healthiest. And I just learned so much information. So if you want to know about like pet food and more natural choices, then you can like ask me. Like, I'm open and I will tell you, because I didn't know any of that stuff existed before I worked there. And it was really cool that I got to work there and learn so much, and it actually applied to my life because I have a dog and a cat now. So I worked at Kreiser's and it was awesome. Around March or so, I had been doing okay in my online classes. I had dropped out of math because I learned out I need like an actual teacher to teach me math. I can't just do it like just reading a textbook and then doing homework. It was way too hard for me. So I dropped out of math and I was taking government and art history, and I was doing okay in them. But I still wasn't doing my best, and I still wasn't my best mentally. So I subsequently withdrew from ACC, and I did it the right way. I did it before the deadline. I did it before spring break, so I wasn't penalized. All of those classes are W's, and they don't count against me. So I was just going to work, and then we were going to see what we were going to do. Well, we knew that we wanted to move back to Fort Worth when our lease was up, which was in September, but we had been thinking about moving in the summer because we just really missed our families. We really missed Fort Worth, so we were going to do that. And then basically what happened was we decided that that's not where we should be right now, and we moved back to Fort Worth on April 13th. So that's funny. So we moved back, and we didn't have enough money, or we didn't have jobs up here to get our own apartment, so we moved in with my mom, and we still live there, so that's fun. We're really trying to move out now. Obviously it's taken a while to get jobs because apparently Austin will hire you within like 2 seconds, and everybody in Fort Worth just hates me and Nikki, honestly. So we live with my mom, and Nikki actually just got a job this week, like it's official. And I have been at Brood, which is a restaurant in Fort Worth, for 3 weeks now. I believe so. It was at the end of May when I started working. Well, I guess that doesn't feel like 3 weeks. Maybe. I don't know. So that's where we are now. And I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. It says, in what ways do you think you've grown or experienced a setback? Like, did you discover some inner resolve, look at things from a different perspective, or anything like that? I know that's cliche, but I'm for real curious. This is Connor, by the way. Love you. Love you too, Con. I definitely have grown. I am not the same person I was a year ago. Moving 3 different times in a year was crazy. And you know, me and Nikki had our first apartment. We got a cat. We paid our own bills. We got jobs, and we just lived in Austin like regular people. And we really enjoyed it. And now being here, I realize I don't want to be here anymore, and I really, really miss Austin. But when we decided to move back, we couldn't know what was going to be better, because I still was not mentally doing well, in Austin. You know, my friends, they were still in school at UT, and then my friends in my hometown were either in college or still in my hometown. So I was pretty lonely. And I stopped going to see a therapist because I'm an idiot. But in hindsight, I've learned so much from this past year. I learned the right and the wrong way to withdraw from college. I basically just discovered what I want to do. I want to be a teacher. Early childhood education is what I want to major in. And I learned I love Fort Worth, and it'll always be home, my original home, but Austin was just awesome. I loved the food. I really miss all my favorite places in Austin so much. I miss HEB, the Superior grocery store. I miss the dog parks we would go to. I miss the park by our house. I just miss so much, and I definitely miss me and Nikki having our own place. It's so different now, and it really just kind of sucks now. But I mean, there's not really anything we can do about it right this second. So we're gonna work, and we're both going to attend Tarrant County College for this next school year, so fall through spring, and then hopefully next summer we will be moving to Austin, or possibly moving to Portland to go to school there. If we go back to Austin, I'm definitely going to apply to UT again because I miss it so much, and I know that if I was in a better state mentally, I would have stayed there and I would have enjoyed every second of it. So we're gonna see. I need to do better in school to help my grades. And I mean, everybody makes mistakes, right? Maybe not so rash like all these decisions were, now that I think about it, and I hate the term everything happens for a reason, but I know that there is a reason that I went to school, dropped out, went to a different school, dropped out, you know, had my first apartment in Austin with Nikki, and I know like all those experiences basically add to who I am now, but I kind of wish like I just knew what I wanted to do after high school and it was all fine and dandy. But things happen, and this year was definitely my most crazy and just a lot. It was a lot, and I've learned a lot, and I've definitely grown a lot, and I know where I want to be, and I know what I want to do, and I just feel so much better now. And I just need to get out of my mom's house. It's driving me insane being there. No offense, Mom, love you. A couple more questions I have, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. Is someone says, so you're friends with Lainey now, and do y'all live together? Yes, me and Nikki, we're both friends with Lainey now. We hang out with her like all the time. She actually works with me at Brood. We're really great friends, and I wish we had been friends this whole time. But like I said, shit happens. But we're friends now, and it's like totally awesome, and I'm filming in her apartment right now, so she's a great friend. And no, we don't live together. I don't know why someone thought that. Maybe because we spend so much time together, but I mean, we work together, and we both work in Fort Worth, and she lives in Fort Worth. We're just, I guess, with each other a lot. But no, we don't live together. And this next question is, are you thinking about getting more animals? I could see you with a hedgehog. Yes, we are thinking about getting more animals. Obviously, not until we're moved into a permanent place, so probably not within this year, next year, but probably the next year when we move to Austin, maybe Portland. I feel like we're gonna get another cat before we get another dog. That's just how I feel, but I definitely want a bearded dragon. I basically just want all the animals. So I want a bearded dragon, I want like a couple rabbits, I want some chickens, I want, what else do I want? I want hamsters, or not hamsters, I want guinea pigs. I want guinea pigs, very specific. And honestly, any animal I can like get a hold of, I want. Like, I just love animals. And obviously we're gonna have 100 dogs and 42 cats, but this is way in the future. Right now, we'll probably, next couple of years, probably get another dog, another cat, maybe our bearded dragon. We're just gonna have to see like where we end up and things like that, but hedgehogs are also really cute, but I don't know if Nikki would be okay with that. But she wasn't okay with the bearded dragon at first, and now she is. So we'll see. Last question. Omega Curious Cat says, do you think you have any idea of the people who ask these questions? I know who 2 of them were, and then the others, sometimes I'm good at knowing who sends me curious cat things, but for these random questions about my life, no. I mean, they could be anyone. But I imagine they're friends and people who just wanted to be nice and send me questions. Unless it's like a mean one, then I guess not friends. So yeah, that's been my life, and now I definitely want to YouTube more. I'm probably going to be doing vlogs. Like I said, I might do a Starbucks like job review. That'd be cool. And just like other fun videos. Obviously some makeup videos, some videos with Nikki, some videos with Lainey. We're just gonna see what happens, and I really want to become consistent with my videos, because I've been like trying to just be so consistent with YouTube since I was like 11 and I made terrible videos, but now I have the time, especially because it's summer and I'm just working. I should definitely have the time to put out some videos, and I'm super excited. That sounded really sarcastic. Sorry. I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too. And yeah, my life for the past year has been a lot, but now it's calming down, and we're just gonna work and save up money and then do school at TCC and then make our next big move. So stay tuned. It could get crazy again, but I really hope it doesn't. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure this is a really long video, and I apologize, but I just needed to get everything out there, so if I mention something, then you kind of know what I'm referring to that happened within this past year or so. And yeah, so this is my comeback, and like I said, I'm super excited to make videos, and I hope you guys are excited to watch them. But that's all for now. Definitely like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I'll see you on my next video. Bye!